Um, Me and my friend here are going to be talking about some just stuff in the NFL, just talking football. So how would you like to start this?
Uh, I don't know. Maybe this is our first time doing something like this.
Let's talk about Deshaun
Uh,
Watson. Where do you think his
oh,
top landing spot would be?
Denver. I
You
think
want to?
that's on every single like spot. It's also really good for both teams. Denver's offerings are really good, especially with the whole case being looked at. I think the Texans should just cut their losses and take it.
Because I've personally heard the Eagles are also a top landing spot.
I think the Eagles should stay with Jalen Hurts. There's no reason for that, in my opinion.
Well, but you also get the guarantee of a good quarterback in Deshaun Watson with the way he's been playing the past 4 years.
Yeah, but you have a guaranteed decent. You have a guaranteed franchise quarterback with Jalen Hurts. There was absolutely
That's
nothing
not a
wrong with him. He was
guarantee at
really
all.
mobile.
Yes, he
I.
was.
eh,
He's a bit trigger happy in the pocket though. When you look at the um, when you look at the tape, you've seen a couple times where he'll roll out of the pocket, nobody's around him, and he'll like just want to throw the ball away or just throw it to somebody who's covered.
Yeah,
He
but
doesn't.
last year was his first year. He hadn't started the entire year until like what, last two games? Or am I under exaggerating?
You're over exaggerating there. I'm pretty sure Carson Wentz was hurt very early on in the year.
Oh, okay. But yeah, and then
He'll
they
definitely
could
have
have
time to
won that
work on it.
Giants game in uh wait, who was it? Who did they face last?
The very
Washington?
last week, yeah, they faced Washington.
They could have won that game. I don't know why they chose not to. Uh, but yeah, putting in Carson Wentz was the biggest mistake they could have made at that point.
Yeah, and speaking about Carson Wentz, him getting injured with as long or along with Quentin Nelson down in Indianapolis,
Nice
that'll
little
be.
roll in there, by the way. That was really cool. Uh, so yeah, Colts kind of seem like they're done for. They kind of seem like their year's already ended with Wentz.
I don't know. That defense might be able to
It
carry
really
him
have
like it did
no.
last year. I can't really say the defense carried him. Jonathan Taylor, along with Marlon Mack, good running back duo. Philip Rivers also played really well. One of my favorite
Also,
quarterbacks
Naheem
in the league.
Hines. Naheem Hines is one of the most fun running backs to watch play last year, in my opinion. It was the Colts overall seems like they had I don't want to say lucky. I want to say when you're feeling on in a video game.
You're just having a
I
non-day.
feel
You're
I
just.
I feel like they all kind of reached a little peak in their careers. You know what I'm saying? Philip Rivers could have
Yeah.
done way more, and I feel like if he did, they would have won that playoff game against the
And
Bills.
me being a
But
Jags fan,
hey,
take that week one L.
uh,
Our only win of
yeah,
the year.
made it seem like the Colts were bad for a second. But
But
yeah, I think the Colts could have been Super Bowl bound if Philip Rivers had one of his more younger years.
I mean, I've always liked Philip Rivers. It's sad he never won a playoff game, or he has won a playoff game. Has he won a playoff game?
He definitely
Jeez, I
has.
can't remember.
There's no way he
But
hasn't with the Chargers.
I've always liked his heart for the game. He always played hard. I mean, good example of it. He around against the Patriots with a torn ACL, just trying to keep the team going, but sadly fell short in that game. I've always just liked his heart for the game. And another thing, they have a top O line in the league. You
Yeah,
know,
it is. It is a little scary to go up against if
in
you're
the
any
AFC
team line.
South, they have in the AFC South 4 out of the 5 play like if you do like an all AFC South team, 4 of the 5 linemen are Colts.
Colts. Yeah, no, like
Left tackle to
I
goal, Laremy
I
Tunsil.
100% agree with that. But who else is in AFC South again? Titans, Jags, and who's it?
Texans.
Texans. Texans are kind of borderline trash right now. They're in rebuilding phase. They should stay in rebuilding phase. Um, let's do something different. So, since they don't know yet, they might already know that you're a Jags fan. They don't know I'm a Cowboys fan, which is what I am. We them boys, shut up about it.
Bozo.
All right. So let's talk about their things next year, divisions, players, and all around what we think
NFC
about them.
East. The NFC East is a funky division. You never
It
know what
is,
team's going to
but
do good. You never know what team's going to do bad. This year,
but when
Eagles definitely
healthy,
going to do bad.
oh my fault. When healthy, I feel like it's going to be a strong. You
Your
have
voice is lagging a
let's
bit.
go Giants first. Giants have Saquon Barkley, if healthy, monster, one of the best in the league.
I've
Kenny
always
Galladay
loved
now.
him as a running back. They actually did
Kenny
end up signing Kenny
Galladay.
Galladay?
Yes, they did.
That's big.
Yeah. And then Daniel Jones, I actually really like, except for the whole having no line, except for Andrew Thomas. That's the one place where they kind of struggle.
They
but I
do
think
struggle
they'll
a
pick it
lot
up.
with that.
And then defense, I think they're fine. What's
James
the quarterback's
Bradbury,
name?
you got to love him.
They have Dexter Lawrence on their
Dexter,
D-line.
he's nice. He's a nice young kid.
Yeah, he's pretty solid. Then let's go to Eagles.
The
Defensive
Eagles,
side, you
if
have
the Eagles get Deshaun Watson, I think they can do good.
I think the Eagles get Deshaun Watson, they win the division at least.
I don't know about that, but they can do solid
let-
if they get Deshaun Watson.
So D-line is super scary with Fletcher Cox and who is it? There's another.
The only one I know on that D line is Fletcher Cox.
There's another.
How old's
I'm sorry,
Fletcher
I'm
Cox?
forgetting
31, 32?
that. He's pretty old, but he's still in his prime as we speak. So their defense is like not really holes per se, but like could be better. Their
It definitely
offense
could be better.
is really young, going through Jalen Rager and Devontae Smith now with Jalen Hurts.
That's why I'm saying
when I
you
say
get Deshaun Watson, he can succeed.
When I say it out loud, I want to say that Jalen Rager does good, but like their offensive line is iffy. And also, wait, before we get off of the offensive subject for the Eagles, Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert, best tight end duo in the league, and
Zach
maybe
Ertz
the best
leaves.
tight end.
Zach Ertz
I-
wants to leave. I remember.
I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, it was a big thing around free agency. He wanted to leave.
Oh.
But
By the way, I'm saying arguably best tight end. Obviously, they've short control Travis Kelce. Then you have
duo wise,
Zach
yes.
yeah, but then you have Zach Ertz, who's been in the league far longer and far more consistent, even with these not so great quarterbacks that he's having. It's always great years for him.
You know, and I've always liked Zach Ertz. He's always, with being on the Eagles, he had that 1 year of where he succeeded, you know, won the Super Bowl in 2018, or the 2017 season, 2018 Super Bowl. And, you know, Nick Foles, Big Dick Nick, going off.
Yeah,
And, you know, that was definitely an interesting Super Bowl. That was definitely an interesting Super Bowl.
Storyline, I think. I think it made one of the best storylines of its decade. But let's move on teams. Eagles will be done.
All right.
Let's go to
Washington, the scariest, they're the most underrated team going into this year, in my opinion.
They are a little underrated. They are winning this division when healthy. Chase Young, already a captain of his team right after his rookie year, is insane, as well as the numbers he put up. The rest of the D-line is phenomenal. And you have, what's that one corner's name on their team?
I have to think about that. Give me a second.
Or you can look it up. But it's somebody who is monstrous in coverage.
I don't know why I can't think of it.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't either.
But let's talk about our offense till we can remember his name. But they have. Didn't they get Curtis Samuel?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, you bring him in.
Samuel,
I've always I've always liked Scary Terry. Antonio Gibson, not the best, but he's definitely solid.
And then you bring in a phenomenal what should I say? Leader who's been in the league for many teams. Many teams.
I wouldn't say he's definitely like he knows the game, but he's more of a fan favorite than like a great QB.
He really is, and that is Ryan Fitzpatrick.
By the way, I think William Jackson. By the way.
Nah, that's not who I'm thinking about.
That's who their corner is.
So you check safety then.
Alright.
But
I've always liked Montez Sweat, who's also on the...
Montez Sweat, yep.
Good D-line in there.
Is one of the best in the NFL. Probably next to Rams. Steelers from last year, but Steelers this year won't be.
Utah. Landon Collins is who you're thinking of.
Yes. Landon Collins.
They also have Kendall Fuller.
Kendall Fuller as well. Yeah, both their safeties are nuts. What else? And then we'll talk about the Cowboys, my favorite team. Let me handle this, and then you touch on the subject. So,
Mm-hmm.
Dak Prescott, last year when he was healthy, he was on track to break 7,000 yards.
I don't know if it was 7,000. It was 6,000. I'm pretty sure.
I did math. When I was in a car one time. I literally got out a calculator.
It was not 7. There's no physical
it was low
way.
7,000. Low 7,000. It was like 7,100 something.
I thought it was like 6,400.
That might have been the week after. But listen, at one point last year, on to break 7,000 yards. Obviously, his wide receiver core is nuts. His O-line is also really good, but that is just monstrous. Too bad he got injured trying to kind of put the team in his hands. It's whatever. Zeke, rough year last year, to say the least. That many fumbles when he's been one of the top carriers in the NFL throughout his few years in the NFL is a little weird to me, but I'm gonna, as a Cowboys fan, this is an excuse. I'm gonna blame it on the preseason and then not having that last year.
So, where I'm gonna go with this, okay? Yeah. Best wide receiver core in the NFL, my personal opinion.
Yes.
You have CeeDee Lamb, amazing, coming out of his rookie year, phenomenal rookie year. You have Amari Cooper, consistent receiver. You have Michael Gallup, who's he's had production. I personally don't like him though. And
really,
I don't know why. There's something about him I don't like.
He's one of the most consistent wide receiver threes, are consistent catchers in the NFL. Period.
Who's your tight end again? Schultz or something like that?
Dalton Schultz. Yep.
Yeah, I like him. I like him as a tight end. Defensive-wise, last year, shit. Sorry, it was shit.
Nah, everything about the defense was terrible. Everything had
this upcoming year
had to be a shootout.
I like it. You keep Leighton Vander Esch healthy. You keep Micah Parsons healthy.
Yeah, that's a disgusting linebacker core. If
along with Jalen Smith, that you would have one of the best linebacker cores behind the Buccaneers. But
yeah,
that would be disgusting. You have an okay D line. I'd say an okay D line.
So
secondary definitely needs some work.
Trevon Diggs, I really liked earlier.
I do like him too. He has a heart. He has a heart for the game. He plays hard. I like it.
And remember his like nuts play. I think it was
against DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
where he came up
That
behind
was
him, knocked the
fun.
ball out for a touchback. That was a good play. Nice heart. He turned on the Jets for that one.
He knew exactly what to do then and there. Good understanding of the game. So I say keep him out there. You have also Chidobe Awuzie if he stays. I think he stayed. Did he?
I
I'm
want to
not
say he
sure
went to the
signed with anybody
Panthers.
else. Did he? I feel like that's very possible. But so now that that's
Nope,
done.
Cincinnati.
Oh really?
He went to Cincinnati.
Damn. So with that said, when healthy, all of these teams like at their best probably. Rankings 1 through 4 from you, not from
In
me.
the
I'm not
NFC
allowed
East,
to.
I still think no matter
Yeah.
what, even if Dallas, everybody stays healthy, Washington still wins that division.
That's okay with me. Do you think Dallas has a chance of making playoffs like that?
If everybody stays healthy, I'd say pretty easily.
Cool.
They'd probably get up since the first 4 seeds. Washington gets one of the first 4. They get a 5, maybe a 6 seed, probably a 6 seed.
What do you think? And then so that's first and second in the division. Eagles, Giants.
Eagles, bottom of the division. That's an easy decision. Eagles have nobody to. Eagles don't have a running game to take pressure off of
We didn't
Hurts.
bring up Miles Sanders. That dude is a disgusting game in.
He's a solid running back, but I just don't think they have the running game enough to take enough pressure off of Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to bring up.
But whenever you play the Giants, put in Boston Scott. That's all I gotta say.
That I would say it's true. So it's Giants third, Eagles fourth. Okay, interesting. And now
back to the AFC South, because I was never able to talk about my personal team, and I talked about the Colts earlier. I think they, like we said, if they have their starting QB out, they have their star left guard out. I don't want to say bottom of the division. For the first few weeks, they're going to struggle. The division goes to the Texans. Texans are a dumpster fire.
Oh, yeah, no, my fault. Sorry about that.
I'm not trying to be biased with being a Jags fan here. Personally, I think we go 6-11, 7-10.
I am perfectly fine with that. I already went through the records with you. That maybe we'll go through that another day. But second in that division, if Colts keep up what they're doing, because that's not okay. Titans look unstoppable right now.
They win that division hands down. Everybody stays healthy. They are the Super Bowl contender.
Did Jadeveon Clowney get re-signed?
No, he went to the Browns.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But the reason I think Jacksonville does good, okay, or does as good as I say they will, not even that it's good, it's still a losing record. You bring in the top generational talent in the past 10 years.
Yup.
I really like him. Out of high school. Well, I mean, I liked him at Clemson. I've watched him a few times. I like him.
Trevor.
He's a prolific.
You guys have probably heard about it. Trevor Lawrence looking as good as Andrew Luck was in college, which is insane.
And I like his stature. He's 6'6". He can look over everybody. He can look over the big centers, guards, tackles in the pocket. You can kind of look over him,
Not say the same.
But he needs to put on some weight. He's 225. He's got to put on some weight, being 6'6".
I think if he does put on weight, he can be a sort of Josh Allen type-esque, like running quarterback.
I like James Robinson. Everybody flames us for drafting Travis Etienne. Okay, you have mind you have a 17-game season. You have 2 potential. I mean, I think James Robinson goes for another 1,000 yards, as he did last year. Travis Etienne, we use him more in the passing game, but he'll rush for 600-700 yards.
That is almost 2,000 yards between running backs.
Yes, which I mean, Derrick Henry will go for 2,600, but
Yeah.
I just
All right.
and obviously our wide receiver core like DJ Chark, not Marvin
Laviska
Harrison. I
Shenault.
am Laviska Shenault, Marvin Jones. That's what I meant to say, and obviously the
Oh,
GOAT Tim
bringing
Tebow.
bringing him in from the Lions was actually really
He
good.
he didn't get a
Because
lot of yards, but he
he didn't,
got
but that's because Kenny
touchdowns.
Galladay was the prime target.
He was a red zone threat. That is
Being
what
in the
we
size
needed.
he is, that's kind of nuts.
I like having him as
He's
red
not
zone
very
threat.
big.
Defensive wise, Josh Allen comes out of injury from last year. Kayvon Chason, raw talent, switching to a 3-4 defense. He might be able to do good. In training camp, he's dropped back into coverage and done good. C.J. Henderson, big talk of the town right now in Jacksonville.
Why is
Teams say he's on the trade block.
1 year in?
That's where it gets iffy. He played great first half. I won't say great. Played solid first half of the year last year. Got injured. Couldn't get back in.
Let's say play on an all-star level for the first 3 weeks.
But anyway, then he got injured. Was out for the last half of the year. Urban Meyer said himself he wants a fast, hard-hitting team. C.J. Henderson hasn't been really participating that much in training camp. Urban Meyer doesn't want him.
Oh, we also need to talk about bringing in Urban Meyer himself.
Urban Meyer.
That may be one of the best moves you could have possibly done in the league. In that stage, Urban Meyer may be one of the best, if not the best, at being able to handle that. Because he handled, and in college, handling guys out of high school, kind of out of high school, but not really. Like in their later years of college, it's really difficult to sort through everything. But he did it. He did it well, and he's one of the greatest college coaches, if not the greatest in all of history.
Nick Saban. Sorry, Nick Saban called in.
Shut up.
But
then you bring him into a team that's failing as a franchise in turn.
And another thing is, you have Nick Saban, the best college coach of all time. There is no debate. He's just the best.
Yeah.
He tried the NFL, went to Miami, sucked. But then you have other coaches like Jimmy Johnson for Dallas in the 90s, took the worst team in the NFL.
Who went to the Hall of Fame, by the way, this year.
It was last year, but he was inducted last night. He took Dallas, the worst team in the NFL at the time, not even 3 years, led him to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's iffy with these coaches. But I like the way Urban Meyer coaches. He'll yell at you, but every coach does that. He won't yell at you and get you under pressure. He'll stand next to you and kind of be over your shoulder type thing, looking at you and get you motivated.
With players. Who's that?
Tim Tebow.
I read an article one time.
It's Tim Tebow who he's reuniting with. I still don't know if we sign him. It depends on how he does in training camp. It's up to Urban Meyer. But we'll just have to see how he does. And hopefully he does good. Because he's bringing in... He's played against Trevor Lawrence, I believe. He's bringing in, the top talent from the draft. He has a young team. Arguably the youngest team in the NFL.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think we have a player that's that old besides Tim Tebow.
I was kind of leaning toward Bengals on that one.
Bengals are pretty young too, but you look at Jacksonville, we have a rookie QB, Marvin Harrison, who's not. Why do I keep saying Marvin Harrison? Marvin Jones, who is on the other side, 29-30. DJ Chark, who's young. Laviska Shenault, young. Colin Johnson, young. O-line, a bit on the other side. James Robinson, again, just got out of his rookie year.
By the way, I gotta go.
But it was nice talking about that. We'll finish the rest of the divisions tomorrow, which is basically the rest of the NFC, rest of the AFC. But thank you for tuning in. Yeah, we didn't even finish the AFC South. But thanks for anybody who tunes in after this. I don't think anybody joined during the stream, but thank you.